The first night in our new house, it was raining animals we had never even imagined. I was not quite 4 years old, and my brother Miles was barely 2. The truck with all our furniture didn't make it, but we had a few boxes and a television, and we settled in for the night. The rest of the house was empty, and Miles and I were too scared to play in the attics in our new upstairs bedrooms because the light was waning, and the rain was pounding, and the lightning began just before dark hit. Boom! The lights went out, and for a moment, everything was silent. We had been watching TV. Scooby-Doo is the same dog anywhere, and this calmed us. But when he disappeared, we found ourselves in the darkness, strangers in these confines, confronted with the newly forming notion of prior existence and the possibility of ghosts. We did not want to stay the night in this place. We wanted home. We wanted to know, can't we go back and sleep in the old house? For the first house was now the old house, regardless of age. But it's pouring down rain, Dad explained, and pitch black outside, Mom added. We opened boxes and lit candles and located blankets and spent that first night scared in a huddle in the middle of the den, waiting for morning, shadows of our life to come, forming strange dreams that would never leave us. Even when the sun rose, we could see the corners of our new house we explored what was covered in darkness, knowing in our little unformed hearts that just as the sun revealed things hidden by night, so too did the darkness unblanket things hidden by light. I am a ghost myself now, or will be soon, as the Bank of America is in the process of selling this house. Soon, I will be the prior existence felt by its future inhabitants. The walls and bookshelves are bare. My parents, with their memories of experiences within those walls, are already ghosts. It's only a matter of time, but how long, before they are forced to lock the front door for a final time, walk to their separate vehicles, and drive to one of the city's suburbs, where they will live in another house and make another life. My mom, just before hanging up, starts weeping. She's trying to tell me she's sorry, that my childhood house will be gone soon, that they couldn't provide for us as they wanted. But she is weeping too hard to say she's sorry, how sorry she is, even for weeping. I can tell now she's been holding this back the whole conversation. It doesn't matter, I say. Home is wherever you and Dad are. I'm proud I said this, and we are both quiet for a moment, surprised at the honesty and immediacy of my emotion. My mom broke, but still, we all have our own lives to tend. I might have something to send you, she says finally, about the plants. I wrote something about all the flowers I planted and tended to. Some of the things in that backyard I planted 25 years ago, she says. I feel like I'm leaving children behind. There is another pause. My mom loves that backyard. It's the reason she wanted the house. It's where she went to get away from us and the rest of the world when she needed to. Now, it is barren of human constructs, but the pool in its center. But even that is murky now, dark, seaweed green, and somewhere between solid and liquid. More liquid, of course, but overtaken, defeated by the messy pulps of time. That we can make of ourselves something of our own imaginations, that we can will ourselves into a different state of being, this is the great realization of the conscious adult mind. But as a child, looking into the future, is our great longing not to mature into an adult who conveys that which is already inside of us? When I was a child, I wanted to be in the army. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to fight for this country because I understood it to be a beacon of light and of truth in this world. That dream died in 1990. I was in line at McDonald's, age 8, when my mom started crying. There are only a few rooms left in this house in which my mom is not crying. I did not understand. It had something to do with the President of the United States. When I moved out of that house, I had other dreams. I wanted to be a writer because I believed that with the right words we could change the very nature of mankind and even alter the course of our universe. I spent my late teens and early 20s desperate and vitriolic as the crowds of people around me exploited one another, hustled for the wrong reasons, or got wasted, indifferent, or defeated. The illusion that began to evaporate in the early 1970s I wanted to rip apart with my own bare hands, all at once and piss all over it, similar to my feelings regarding our national preference for proper grammar over passion and pus. The need for order, I mean, and the fear of making mistakes, how it prevents us from wandering aimlessly, putting our fingers on every surface, the reluctance to destroy ourselves and the resultant hybrid of pigs and zombies. I tore myself apart at the expense of my loved ones, sulked solitary in the corners of bars all over this country, trying not to cry into midnight beers because I believed, if not in America, then the heart itself. Writing things like, "Don't be surprised that your own personal story contains the history of mankind and even the whole universe. This is true for everyone. And the future is a direct consequence of our intentions, our wills, and our respective abilities to work together. We are taught by the few who are true to think larger than ourselves, to be but a part, a cog in some righteous machine, to find our grooves and thrust, trusting in forward motion. My friends from different machines are all over the world now, reacting in their own fashions to the poisoned climate we all grew up in. 2 weeks ago, one of them got in a car wreck that should have killed him. His car was totaled, but he was unharmed. Psychologically, though, he's a different person, confusing common tasks and forgetting how he got where he is. He spent the following week tweeting deadpan meditations on suicide. One day I will die, so too you, but do you consider it truly for what it's worth? Do you ever stare into the void? Have you ever seen it? All the stars in the sky going dark at once at the faltering rhythm of your own breath. Until you do, and until you accept it, you are not truly alive. I am clutching at an image of my mother staring at the plants she has watered through a window along hers. For so long the plants have belonged to the window, to my mom looking through at them. It won't be today, it won't be tomorrow, but one day America will be an extension of the countless individuals who stay true to themselves within its borders, and to the many more around the world who think and breathe and act in accordance with a notion of the world much larger, much richer, and much older than any one of us could ever imagine, much less chart. We finish our jobs and we are tired, but the day is not done. Now is the only home we will ever know, lost in ourselves when we're silent, when it's so hard to see the boats, so ceaseless, moving away from us. So tell me of your reality, your dreams, your connections or hobbies, your work or job. Tell me of what makes you tick. The day is not done. The future is now, but we pretend in normality, we try to act like this is all not so fucking strange. Now, my parents are finally being forced to face the future, forced to leave their home, where for many years they've succumbed to ideas not updated, to routine and neurosis. Home is where the corners fade to memory, familiarity preventing us from engagement. The backyard will grow, someone else will tend to its flowers. Home is where my parents are, wherever they are. We are also conditioned to clap, but I ask you not to. I ask for a moment of silence. Conditioned to clap, and then asked not to, defilement. Here we are, doing something different. Let's look at each other into eyes, unafraid for a moment of asking not what's up, but what's down, and what we plan to do about it. Thanks.